playing it cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the line, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Bad guys do real shit, no one can stop it. Walking in the shadows, always all the profit. Fast cars, big dreams, living on the edge. Haters talking trash, but we ain't even faced. Just some rebels with the cars, breaking all the rules. Bosses in the game, always playing it cool. Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Chasing that money, living for the thrill, aiming for the top, gotta make the kill. Street smart, no room for the weak. Cross us once, you'll feel the heat. Taking what we want, we don't ask for permission. Running with the wolves, a dangerous coalition. Living on the edge, no time for hesitation. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. Real shit podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain. But in this city ain't nobody in the way. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. We're the kings of the night, here to stay. cool.
Viewer discretion time.
Viewer discretion is advised.
What up, heel faction? Welcome back to Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Because bad guys do heel shit. I'm Dark Cordz, that's Draven Grimes, and you wanna be a pro wrestler. Well, we're gonna tell you how to do it, all the steps, all the pitfalls, probably some personal stories about how we did it along the way, and we'll get into it right after this.
Living fast, we ain't slowing down. Always ready to turn heads around. Heel Shit Podcast, where the bad boys reign. Never following the norm, always causing pain.
All right, we are back. How you doing, Draven?
Fresh off the trip to Bainbridge, Georgia Old School Championship Wrestling. Great time, great people. Looking forward to doing some business with them.
Very good.
But I'm fucking tired, my guy.
I bet you are. Those up and backs will kill you.
That'd be all right. Part of the business. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Got a little case of the Sundays, but we'll be all right.
The Grumpies didn't help any.
Did all right.
Whew.
What up, Johnny? What up, real life Hobbit?
So, you want to be a professional wrestler? Don't do it. So, for Dark Cordz, I'm
All
Draven
right,
Grimes.
that was good enough. No. No, I've enjoyed my journey along the way.
Oh, mine's had its ups and downs.
Yep. And we'll get into injuries and things like that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So where do we want to start here?
So, what made you look seriously into school, into a wrestling school? Like, this is what you're gonna do.
So for me, it's kind of been in the family. You know what I mean? Like my uncles, Ronnie and Donnie, the Harris brothers, DOA, throughout WWF, ECW, WCW. You know, that's what they've built their lives on, to the point of when they were able to step away, they were living comfortably and they started their own music producing company.
Okay.
Christian music producing company.
Oh.
So for me, it was always not really the fame. It was more the camaraderie. Like growing up, I didn't have a lot of friends. I was the pale, chubby redhead that nobody wanted. No, I'm being for real.
No, I know.
Like nobody wanted to be my friend, with the exception of like one or two people. And the one thing that me and this very small group of friends had in common was wrestling. Probably because I had cable on the block and nobody else had cable on the block, so we can watch it at home on Tuesdays because I was smart enough to have a VHS and a recorder. Good shit. That's how you get friends. You block and blackmail. But for me, it was always the camaraderie because I've gone to plenty of shows as a kid.
Yeah.
And I see what happens out there, but I've seen more what happens backstage after all the lights and shit are off. And I saw like that brotherhood, and I wanted that more than anything.
Okay.
So from like a very young age, I'm talking like 5, 6, 7 years old. That's what I wanted. So when the time came, I went to my uncles. I was like, listen, I know you're probably going to tell me no, this ain't for me. You don't want to do this. But this is what I want to do. Can you point me in the right direction? And the first direction they pointed me was Scott Levy's school up in Atlanta, Ravens. Okay. Unfortunately, finances were not there. So they helped me find a more local school, which was CWA. And of course, this is after living with them for a couple years, and they teach me the basics, bumping, running, just basic fundamentals. They taught me that, but they wanted me to go to a school to learn this business. So they helped me find one, ironically down in Stark, CWA. I started there in 2010. Did that training, worked with those people for about 2 years, and then I started branching out on my own. Now, we'll stop there because I want to kind of ask you the same thing. What made you want to get into this, and how did you go about it?
Well, I wanted to be a wrestler since I was like single digits.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's something I felt I always wanted to do. Teenager trying to figure out what my finisher will eventually be and all that good shit. Like, I was a fan, obviously. I'm a super fan of Sting.
Yep.
Watch WCW weekly. And it was just something that I always wanted to do, but I had a very protective mother.
God bless her for it, though.
So she wouldn't let me do a lot of, like, I couldn't play football in high school, any contact sports, which is weird because I've always been allowed to do martial arts. So it was very strange that some contact sports seemed to be okay. But I was always, I'm much bigger now. I'm 46 years old, so I don't move very well, but I've always been really athletically gifted. From karate through MMA my entire life. I was always good at, everything you play around the block, basketball, football, baseball,
Right.
all that stuff as I was growing up. So, the dream kind of went away because I had, gone to college and done all this shit and eventually started a family and we had kids and there was just
Wait, those aren't your roommates?
no, they don't pay a dime for living here. They're freeloading.
Well then, okay. Damn, this is news to me.
Shit.
I thought y'all just split everything evenly. Continue.
No. And eventually I started making enough money where I was like, fuck it, I gotta do it. I was older in life. Like I didn't have the spring. I was relatively, I've always had like a desk job. Like, so I made sure I was in good shape, relatively good shape before I went in. Like I lost 70 pounds before I went to go.
Right.
I had to not only build the strength because I'm a huge guy, I've got to have the strength along with it, but also to trim the fat. And it just turned to one thing into another. I researched all the schools within driving distance. And finally settled on Dory Funk Junior School, which was still about 2 hours away. So 2 or 3 times a week, I would drive 2 hours there and 2 hours back. And I was there for about a year. One thing that you have to look out for is like some schools do like a 13 week thing. Like I think that's what the Nightmare Academy does, or the Nightmare Factory.
Yep.
And probably the Hatchet School. Like
Hatchet has 2. They have a crash course, which is I believe 8 weeks, and they have a 12-week course.
Okay. Yeah. What up, Kane? So, and it was fun. I met a lot of good people there. I met one serious cunt.
Does it rhyme with farty?
A little bit.
Okay.
But the training was good. Like, I met Andrew there.
Yeah, great kid.
Great wrestler, great kid, great, and he loves to bump.
Oh, I know. Have you seen that new series that he's been putting out?
Yeah, taking all the finishers.
Yeah.
But I learned like pretty much all of my big spots with him because he would just happily take anything. So I learned everything on him from F5s to power bombs to he can't I tried my finisher, the Snapmare driver, on him for the first time. Like that, we were trying to come up with finishers, and I was like, because I had done, I had used a couple different finishers. I used a version of that Sister Abigail DDT that Alexa Bliss does. I had done a few.
You did the Gory Bomb at one point.
Yep, did the Gory Bomb. Never did get to do the Gory Neck Breaker. I'm still kind of upset I never got to use that.
Never say never.
But yeah, the Snap My Driver wound up being my thing. Like I said, I was there for about a year, and then it came out. And then it was the hard part. Then it was getting your first pro booking, which is no easy task.
Well, that's based on a couple of factors. See, you had a cut in your school. My school that I went to, they did everything they could to make sure, once you were ready, there were levels to some bookings. And if they thought you were good enough to go to this booking, they were like, all right, we got this kid. Want to use him. He's all for it. And we'd have a meeting with the bookers. And, we'd hash everything out before anything got booked. So it really depends on, I guess, who your teachers are and whether you're up in the wrong way or not. Because for me, once I got done with training, I had a 6-week crash course because I already knew how to bump, I knew how to run, I knew how to do the basics. So it was more psychology and the advanced stuff. By the way, you ever seen a 300-pound man try to do a lucha roll over somebody? Wouldn't recommend it. Still can't do that shit. There's 2 things I can't do. I can't lucha roll to save my life, and I cannot take an arm drag.
Really?
I can't take one. Because you're supposed to do like a 3/4 roll or just a straight front bump over. Yeah, no, mine always turns into like this weird sidewinder kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I always land awkwardly on my shoulder.
Okay.
So anytime for like the last 15 years, I'm like, we're going to do this, and we're going to do arm drag. Like, nope, we ain't doing arm drag. Let's switch that. Why? I don't take arm drags. That's weird. It's like, no, it's not. If you're not comfortable taking something, don't take it.
Don't take it. Yeah.
Simple. I'll take just about anything in the world other than a neck bump, a spike bump now.
Yeah.
And I damn sure won't take an arm drag bump. It don't work for me.
So during training, did you have any like injuries during school?
I had one. And it was my fault because it was like my second or third training and I was showing out, not remembering my knees were fucked up, not wearing my braces or anything like that because I've worn braces since day one.
Okay.
But, we were bumping around. We were just fucking around basically. And we kind of wanted to do a Braun Breaker thing before the Braun Breaker thing was ever a thing, like just to see how hard and fast we could hit the ropes. Well, we all did it. We was having fun with it. It was cardio. Like, so it wasn't like we were just fucking around. We were actually doing like drills and shit. But when I went to hit the ropes, you're not ever supposed to straighten your fucking leg out and lock it up.
Yeah.
Well, for whatever reason, I locked my fucking leg up and it blew my patella. Cracked it right in half.
Whew. That's your kneecap, folks.
Yeah, so that's the only one. And it took me out for about 6 weeks. It wasn't like a complete break, but it cracked from like the top to the bottom. So I had to like give it time to heal up some. And when I came back, even then, I'm not running and shit. I'm just doing basic shit. Damn,
the rains.
Poseidon has graced us with his presence.
No doubt.
So that's the only injury I ever had.
In training.
Yeah, like as far as like actual
school.
Yeah, as far as like actual injuries, like
Right.
getting stiffed in the mouth or taking a bump weird or something like. I don't count those because that's just going to happen. You're never going to land flush 100% of the time. If I could tell you how many times I've separated a fucking shoulder in training or in a match and just pop it back in, we'd be here all fucking day. I don't count that kind of shit. But like something that actually took me out of training or out of school or out of matches for an extended period of time, like that knee injury is the only one in my early career. And it was my fault. I was young, I was dumb, I was being fucking stupid. I take full responsibility for it.
Yeah.
What about you?
I never had like a serious injury. I blew my lower back out a couple of times at the very beginning.
I've blown your lower back out too.
Oh Jesus fucking Christ! Walked into that shit.
But
And I did on the most ridiculous shit. It was learning how to do rolls, and I folded funny. I did obviously something wrong, and I fucking blew my shit out. I think my buddy Chris was with me, and he had to drive home. I tried to start driving home, but he had to take over because every fucking bump, every bump shot me through. It shot me through the roof. It was fucking insane. That's when I started seeing a chiropractor, like a lot, and it helped a lot.
Yeah. So let's be clear about this. I started at a relatively young age. You did start later on in life. Like, what was like the roundabout age that you actually started going to training?
Late 30s.
All right, so you're about in the DDP
Yeah.
level. So that does make a difference because when you're young and you're dumb and your body's not quite that broken down yet because the check engine light isn't on, it does make a hell of a difference. And you got to learn to work within certain limitations as you're older.
Yeah.
As I'm learning, as I'm getting older. So I just want to get that clarified. Did you feel when you started your training that you were
hold that question. Let's throw it to our first commercial.
fine?
I have to pay some bills around here.
Oh yeah. I like to get paid.
Yeah. So we'll be right back after this. What up, Heel Faction? Today's day and age, internet security is of paramount importance. That's why today's sponsor is Surfshark VPN. Tell them about it, Draven.
Dude, it's really quite simple. VPNs are the way of the future. Keeps your stuff secure, safe, and out of hackers' hands. You want to go watch Netflix over in Japan? Flip that shit over. You want to go watch the capital P word, and you can't because you're in one of these states that got it banned? Flip that shit over to another country. Really quite simple.
Absolutely. Keeps your information safe, out of the hands of hackers. VPNs, as Draven said, are the future. If you use the link in the description, you can get Surfshark VPN for 88% off plus 3 free months.
Damn, that's quite a steal.
Yeah, we're talking about less than $2 per month plus 3 free months. You sign up using the link in the description. Safe surfing, happy surfing, keep your shit safe. We'll get back to the show. Hey, we are back. Thank you, Dark and Draven. Want to remind everybody about the YouTube memberships. You hit that join button down there. We have 2 tiers to look through. We got a $1.99 tier. Get you a whole bunch of good shit. Get you the merch at cost. Where the fuck did that come from?
Dark, I was gone for all of 20 seconds. 20.
I was sitting here. I didn't move.
I started smelling Ben Gay and Bad Dreams, and this fucking popped up.
What in the fuck?
Elwood!
That's the belt Elwood made on our
Get
custom championship.
The fuck in here.
episode. Oh.
1. You guys seem like a child. 2.
All right.
Come on.
All right.
It's a door. You
The
turn the
door
knob.
works the same way every time. God damn it.
Get your hobo. Get your fucking hobo. Remove.
Hi.
Remove it.
Here. Get.
Spray it with a Lysol. Get it out of here.
Scoot over so I can get to it. That shit just materialized. Don't just yank it down.
God, it smells like Bad Dreams.
All right.
Get.
All right.
Get.
This motherfucker's a ninja.
Get.
Yes, the world champion, Elwood. Everybody give Elwood a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Get before I Seth Rollins your fucking ass.
Dude, I was sitting here during the commercial break, and the shit, like, he's a ninja.
There's not enough liquor in this fucking office for me to deal with this shit on a weekly basis.
I beg to differ.
I don't, because Castell's been behind on their shipment.
Yeah, I got plenty of bottles.
Elwood, that doesn't mean bring the fucking liquor over here. Leave it. Down. That's not even the right one. Put it down.
Anybody want to stray?
Anybody want a fucking hobo?
God damn it.
You.
All right.
You.
Shut up.
No.
Deal with it.
I'm not. No. It's one thing if it's on your side. I ain't got to smell the Bengay. But it's over here. Where the fuck did he get Bengay from?
I don't fucking know.
You pay him?
Not enough to buy Bengay.
That's been that knockoff shit. Tiger Bomb.
All right. So what was your question before?
Fuck. During your time at training, because of your age difference, and I'm fairly sure your class was more on the younger side, did you already feel like you came in at a disadvantage?
Yeah, because the guys that I was wrestling with were... Hey, James, thank you for joining the heel faction. Yeah, because we had some, like, really good talent. Like, we had Andrew Mitchell, who was about 18 at the time, but has been training since he was 15, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
He's been in there since. So he was amazing. Taught me so much. And we had Bryce Maddox in that class, and he was not a year or two out from winning the national powerlifting championships as a youth. And he still is, without a question, the most naturally strong wrestler I've ever been in that ring with.
Okay.
Like, he could throw me around like I was Andrew. It's crazy how strong he was. You're welcome, James. Thank you. We had Cobra Singh. I don't know what he's up to recently, but we
need to get him back on. Just get an update on him.
Yeah. But he was booked all over the world at one point. So, yeah, I had some stiff competition in that class. And seems like, I don't know, if I was in there, in my prime, I'm sure I could have kept up with all of them, but I had to work a different style. And that was the thing, is that nobody there worked the big man style. So I had to, work that in with these guys. And that's one thing I did like about the school, is that they taught me big man style.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't, learn just generic wrestling, which I appreciate a lot.
Right. But
because even in my prime, I was huge. I was like 280 pounds of very little body fat.
Twisted Steel and sex appeal.
That's it.
So, let me ask this question. I'm sure I've asked it before off camera in our various conversations, but you said that you did the research and you stumbled upon Dory for your final choice. What were your other options before you landed on Dory School?
CCW and Mandarin.
They're good.
Not Mandarin. Is it Mandarin? I don't know.
It is.
And then there weren't very many other ones within driving distance, because I guess I didn't know of DCCW. I didn't, and of course the Hatchet Factory wasn't there.
No, that literally just started last year.
None of the big name wrestlers had opened schools in the vicinity yet.
Mm-hmm.
So that You know, and then I heard about everyone that Dory Funk Jr. has trained, from Kurt Angle to Lita to the Hardy Boys, and I was like, yeah, fuck it.
Makes sense.
Hey, Michael, I still suggest that you try it, but just listen to these pitfalls. Don't think you're going to walk in there and it's like sunshine and rainbows the whole time. It is a chore.
Yeah.
And
That kind of leads me to my first piece of advice for wrestling training. Never be afraid to be the dumbest one in the room.
yeah, ask.
Yep. Be fucking humble. Don't walk in there like you fucking been doing it for 20 years because you may have done some backyarding, and backyarding is a whole other topic. If we want to jump on that, we can.
Yeah.
But never be afraid to be the dumbest one in the room. Never feel afraid to ask a question, because that's what they're there for. That's what you pay them for. Is to
And
answer these questions.
And if you have that question, most of the people in your class has that question, and they're too scared to ask.
Yeah.
So ask the questions. Act like you don't know shit, because even after, a combined 20 years of wrestling experience, there's stuff that we don't know.
Yeah, I'm still learning. And that's still a very humbling thing. Like you said, between us is 20 years. I've been doing this about 15 at this point, and I'm still, and it's not as much on the psychology side or the in-ring side. For me, I'm learning more of the backstage, more of the producing, more of the booking, which, I've done booking. You've been around for all that stuff. And, we've both kind of put our fingers into some promoting to help out from here and there. But it's always a learning experience. You're always learning something new. So never be afraid to ask any question, even if it's something as dumb as, how can I take this back bump differently? Because there's some people who can take a flat back, and it's fine. But some people are not comfortable with that, and they go a little higher on their shoulders, and that's fine. It's how you feel comfortable taking it and minimizing the risk of injury. Because I don't remember who did the statistic, but taking just a regular back bump is the equivalent of a 30-mile-an-hour car crash.
Yeah.
It's no joke on your body. You're going to be sore. You're going to hurt. You're going to be stiff.
Yeah, and that's one of the things we should have kind of said during our school stories, is that ain't a comfortable ring. Just because it gives a little bit, there is not.
That trainer ring's still the softest ring I ever bumped in.
Really?
Oh yeah,
But
it's the
still.
one that DCCW uses, and I guess because of that, once I started going outside and getting bookings, and I got on these stiffer rings, I'm like, oh fuck, this actually hurts, and I had to get used to that. So when I came back to that ring, it was like bumping on a bed. It was so fucking.
Yeah, but for the most part, rings hurt.
Yeah.
You bump, it hurts.
I mean, you gotta think. You got a 2x8 piece of wood that has cross beams up underneath it that's gonna give it the little bounce, and then you got maybe an inch of fucking stiff ass padding. And if you're lucky, that padding has been used quite a bit, so it's got a little bit of give and a little bit of cushion. But there's, for example, a 6-sided ring. I've worked a 6-sided ring before.
Yeah.
I would rather bump on concrete.
Mm-hmm.
It would hurt less.
Yeah.
But again, that goes back to conditioning your body, and that's what all these bump drills are for, to condition yourself. They're not doing it just to watch you fucking do it.
Yeah.
There's a reason behind the madness. Same thing for ropes, same thing for blow-up drills. It's all there to condition not only just your body, but your mind into what you're putting yourself through. And that's a big thing, is condition. Because if you lack on that, and you and I both testify to this, because in our careers, we've kind of pulled back on our conditioning some, and we've paid the price for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got to stay conditioned. You've got to stay ring ready at all times, especially if you're trying to get booked every weekend. Now, there's going to be some weekends that you just can't get booked. That's just a fact of life. And if you're comfortable with that, cool. But please stay in the gym. Keep your cardio up. If you have a training area, please go to trainings. Even if it's just open ring night.
Yeah.
Go bump. Just keep your body conditioned for that stuff. Because once you lay off of that, it sucks getting back into that condition.
Yeah,
It fucking sucks.
it does. So after school, how did you get your first bookings? Did they help you get them?
Yes. So my training school also ran shows. CWA, Coastal Wrestling Association. It was down in Stark. We ran shows sometimes twice a month, sometimes once a month. It just depends on everything going on. And from there, it was kind of like a territory thing where like some promoters would come and, you know, watch the new kids and like, you know, shake hands, kiss baby, shit like that. And if they like you, they'll go to our promoter and be like, hey, can we talk to him about getting here? Because it was always about a respect thing. We don't want to step on each other's toes down here. And I can think of 6, 7 times that I've had that conversation. And a couple of them turned out well. A couple of them didn't turn out so well because don't take everything at face value. That's something I learned about taking a lot of my first bookings because a lot of them were shit shows. A lot of them were, and it doesn't really matter about the crowd to me. I'll work a crowd of 5. I'll work a crowd of 500. You've seen that firsthand. Yeah. I don't care. I'll work every crowd like it's WrestleMania.
Sure.
But if they're only pulling 5, 6 people, that might be a red flag.
Yeah.
And it's something I didn't take at first because I was always trying to be optimistic, even though I'm a fucking realist now. Maybe wrestling's the reason I'm a realist now. But I was always like, yeah, let's just go out there and kill it. And, you know, once we get done, we can move on to the next show. Well, a lot of the times, those 5, 6 people are only there because they're friends and family. They didn't even fucking pay to get in.
Right.
And then when it's time to get fucking paid, and payment's a whole other thing. We'll get that down the road. Remind me to come back to that.
Mm-hmm.
But do your own research. Never be afraid to do your own research as well.
Yeah.
That's something I didn't take in consideration early on, and I just took any and every booking just to try to get a name out there.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, like I said, sometimes it was great, sometimes it flopped. I had to, you know, learn. And another thing, and this is something that's kept us from getting bookings. If you have something established, such as a gimmick or a character, don't let them try to change it.
Right.
I can't tell you how many opportunities that we've had in the past 3 years where they would come to us like, we would love to use you guys, but your characters are just a little too dark. Can you change this, that, or the other? Or, dude, it was even one such as our music. Because one of our tracks, well, you're known as the Hell King of our group. And they didn't want the word hell. They didn't want any cussing at all.
Oh.
And because of it, I was like, no, thank you. We don't need that. This is who we are. This is what you get. And if you can't accept this, then we can't do business.
100%.
Now, I'm not saying 6 weeks out of fucking training school,
Yeah.
no, this is who I am. This is what I want. No. First 5 years, shut the fuck up.
Right.
Straight up, shut the fuck up. Do what they ask you to do. If there's an opportunity, take it. But if you've been 6, 7, 8, 10 years and you have something established and people know you for this particular thing, you kind of have to fucking go with your gut on it. Now, if it makes sense and you're trying to establish something new, cool, whatever. Or if it's like a one-off show that nobody's ever going to fucking remember and you still want to work it, cool, whatever. But if it's a monthly show, and you're going to be booked consistently every month, but they want you to take things away that you've worked for years to put together to create this character, it's not worth it. Because what happens is you're going to put yourself in a hole. And when you go to another promotion that's worked with this promotion and you try to bring your usual stuff over, they're not going to want that. Then they want the same thing they saw over here with them. And then you pigeonhole yourself. It's not worth it. Establish who you are. Establish what with yourself. Establish who you are and establish what you're willing to let go of and what you're going to die on a hill on.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, And you're right, this happened to us a few times. So we're like, we need you to change. And I'm like, fuck you, we're not changing.
Well, we didn't get to fuck you, but respectfully, we've put all our time, effort into this, and we're known as one of the greatest factions in Florida wrestling right now. Why would we want to change that for this booking?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, let's throw it to our next commercial break, and we'll be right back and move on from there.
Dang gay still.
Shit. Be right back.
Castile. Indulge in the revolution.
All right. For everyone listening to the audio podcast, check out castelvodka.com, Kastell vodka.com, and indulge in the revolution. Also, want to remind everybody about the YouTube memberships. We got 2 tiers. Check it out. We got a lot of really good perks in there, so we'd love to have you as a member.
Also, something he's not going to say, please drink responsibly. Please be 21 years of age or older when drinking this shit, because it will fuck you up.
Yes, it will. It will indeed.
That shit's smooth, though. God, is that shit smooth.
So, we also had monthly shows. Like, it was just, but it wasn't like outside talent or anything. It was just school.
Yes.
So, yeah, we did have that, which got us some experience. But when I came out, I didn't have any help getting bookings.
Yes, we've talked about this.
Yeah. And luckily, we had done one show with a promotion in town. And I faced Andrew from our school, and we tore the house down.
Mm-hmm.
Just so, that was the end of, pretty much close to the end of my school. So we left the school, left all that stuff, and there was nobody around to help me take bookings. But eventually, after not getting booked and not getting booked and not getting booked for, God, it felt like forever.
It really does.
I finally messaged the promotion that me and Andrew went to.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, right off the bat, he was like, thanks for reaching out. I didn't know how to get a hold of you. We've been wanting to use you. I was like, hell yeah.
This is where the dicketry starts coming in.
Yeah, absolutely. So I finally made my debut, and I'm not going to say anything bad about any of the promotions that gave me the opportunity to make some money doing this.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a huge clusterfuck. Like, nobody knows who their work until, like, within an hour of going on. Sometimes not even that long. Sometimes you just find out.
Is this on the north side?
Uh-huh. Yeah, you never know who you're going to go against.
Exactly.
And I was like, how are we supposed to do this? And they were like, well, this is just how it works. And when you're out there, you never know who you're working. I was like, bullshit. And it was still in the stage where I had to, like, plan out the entire match.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and most of y'all will have to do that coming out of school for a long time. Learning how to call it in the ring is a advanced skill you learn based on how many reps you get.
Oh, I learned that in school.
Did you?
Yeah, I learned that real quick in school because my trainer, Wade Daniels, you've met him.
Mm.
You were there for a few of our matches. That was one thing he was very adamantly against, was just calling everything back.
Yeah.
Like, he wants it on the Johnny on the spot. Like, he wants to know how to start it. He wants to know who's going over, and then you fill in literally everything in between.
Yeah.
And that's how I learned how to work, and that's why a lot of my matches, if you go back and watch them, yeah, I'll go and call shit with you. But and you sat there with them, like, what do you want to do? It's like, I'll let you know when we're there. I gotta feel it. I gotta feel the audience. I gotta feel the tempo of the match. There's a lot of things that go into whenever I'm wrestling and putting shit together. Like, mine's a lot of Johnny on the spot. I gotta see how Miss fucking Linda B over here in the second row is fucking 90 years old is reacting. I gotta see how this little kid over here is reacting to what's going on before I decide to go do something else. Because what if it's fucking flat, right? And you're supposed to be at a high point of your fucking match, and it's fucking flat as fucking crickets, and you try to slow it down. And you go into that slowdown thing, and then people start walking out.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to listen to the audience. You gotta learn to call shit on the spot. And I was so thankful for learning that very early on because it helped me tremendously.
Yeah, and I learned it relatively quick. How I like to do it is the start, the finish, the turn, and the cutoff. Like, not necessarily when they happen, but what sequence is going to lead up to each, and what move is going to be the turn. What is the cutoff, like the actual move, but everything else just call. And but yeah, that first little while of getting bookings was horrible. Like, I spent all this money, and I was at a point in my life, age-wise, where I was like, there's no way I'm getting on TV. Like, when it comes to the big boys, it's not even a consideration.
Yep.
I just wanted to work, like, once a month for fun. But it started getting, like, months would go by, and there's no booking. And like, what the fuck is happening right now? So luckily, a couple promotions gave me a shot. Finally got in with the promotion we met at, and seemed to be a pretty constant fixture there, which I was happy about.
No, I had to fight for that shit.
Yeah.
Because the current booker that time says you were too green.
As they're putting 10 people in the stands, I'm too green for that.
That, and they were only worried about getting their guys over.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But yeah, so that was, how my pro career kind of started.
Yeah. So mine, obviously, I have a little bit more road time than you do because I've been doing this
Forever.
I wouldn't say fucking forever. But for me, once I started taking outside bookings and they became pretty consistent, I was in Florida, I was Georgia, I did Alabama, I did both the Carolinas, I did a couple shots in Tennessee, I did one shot in Arkansas. That was a lot of alcohol involved in that one. That was one of those clusterfucks. That was one of those clusterfucks that we drove there, didn't even get to work because it was one of those very last second, oh, well, we're not doing the show.
Yeah.
There's not enough people here. But we're not going to give them their money back, but we're just not doing the show. So I was like, oh, well, we're out. Peace. Well, you're not going to tear it down? I was like, we didn't even work. Why the fuck?
Yeah.
So never did that. But so I did all these other states and great times. I was on the road every weekend. I worked every Saturday, some Sundays, some Fridays. It just depends on, how the schedule worked. And it was great. And then I kind of started falling into the wrong crowd. Ever happened to you? It's happened to me. Where you kind of pigeonhole yourself into certain promotions. And once you get pigeonholed in those promotions, it's hard as hell to get out of that light.
Brandon, thank you so much.
To the point where I was like real deep in this hole, so to speak, with these group of people. Dave Taylor, remember that name? Where I was doing shots in South Carolina every weekend with a beat up 97 Jetta.
Whoa.
Doing that every weekend. And then they need a placement filler for a death match.
Ooh.
Now, I've done hardcore matches. I've done no DQ. I've done tables. I've done ladders matches. I've done all that kind of, like, damn near a steel cage is the only match I haven't done. Anybody wants to put me in a steel cage? Booking info down below. So I did it, And at the time, I was going through a very nasty divorce. And I was already, I was drinking my problems away at that point. So everything was numb. So I didn't really feel anything during the match. I was like, fuck it. I'll do this again. And I'll do it again. And I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Until, I fucking just woke up one morning. Was like, this isn't fucking fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm literally pulling fucking thumbtacks and shards of glass out of me. It's not fun. I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time, I was going by R.C. Harris. And I went to training because I haven't been there in like a year and a half. And I just sat down. I had a talk with my trainer. I was like, listen, I want to wrestle, but I'm not. That ain't fun to me no more. And he's like, I tried to warn you. Gotten with those guys, yeah, they get booked everywhere, but there's a reason they only get booked in those particular areas. Like, yeah, I realize that. It's like, I can't have you come back as this because you got this negative stigma. I need you to kind of repackage yourself. And that was the first time I was ever like told. Now this goes back to, hill to die on. But he explained to me, like, if you keep this, you can still work them. I can never bring you back here, and I can't ever put my name on you ever again. Right? Like, go home, sober up, call me tomorrow. And I did. I went home, I sobered up. And I called him, I was like, what do I need to do? He's like, I want you at training Saturday morning, 8 o'clock. I was like, wait a minute. Training's at 9. He's like, nope. You've lost your way. You need to relearn everything. Pay my dues again. Got there. Did setup, did tear down, started from basic 1. I did nothing but back bumps for the whole damn training. And I did them, and, I've bumped. I know how to bump perfectly fine, but he treated me as if I was a day 1 rookie. He re-humbled me.
Mm-hmm.
And, once I got through a few months of that, he's like, all right, come here and let's talk. I was like, okay. So I went down and talked. He's like, I've been making you do this. I was like, yeah. And I didn't like it, but I understood why you did it because it was what was best for me at the time. Like, yep. So what are you going to do now? He's like, I don't know, because the only thing I've known is this gimmick for so long. I've always been like the most over baby face. He's like, yeah. So why don't you flip that up? And when you come back here, you go from the most loved guy to the most hated guy by attacking me, which was the other most loved guy. I was like, I've always wanted, like, I wanted that camaraderie. I wanted that feeling of acceptance. Yeah, it's like, I tell you what, do one night, unannounced, just come in here, hit me with a finish, see how you feel. And if you don't want to do it again, we won't do it again. We'll make some storyline up and we'll be back to babyface in a few weeks. Cool. Okay, cool. So I went in there. At the time, I was using the code breaker.
Okay.
But he was like, we need you to use something else. Like, use something a little more debacle. He's like, just use the DDT. Like, okay, well, DDT's kind of Raven's thing. I don't want to, like, step on that because I don't want to disrespect it. What if I used the Future Shock? Like, what's that? So I explained what the Future Shock was, and I showed it to him. He's like, yeah, do that.
Okay.
So went in there, blasted him from behind, DDT'd him, cost him the title, booed out the building. And as I'm trying to get out of there, security's like pushing people away from, like, this is that one show. You know what show I'm talking about? Like, did not even. It was worse than that. Like,
wow.
they were coming after me in a church.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm trying to get the hell out of there. And, I run to my car and I drive off. Like, that's how I was set off to do. And he called me and was like, all right, everybody's going to come back. So come back, help tear down. And we have a conversation. It's like, how do you feel? It's like, such a fucking adrenaline rush.
Right.
He's like, all right, so I'm going to keep you off for a few weeks. I want you to come back in about 6 weeks. I need you to figure out who you are, what you're about. And that's when I went home. I was like, and by this time I was already in another relationship and stuff. And I was like trying to sit down and just try to figure stuff out. And at the time, my father-in-law got very sick, and he was going to die. And me and him got along tremendously, so I wanted to kind of honor him before he passed. So I took his last name. And then I'm sitting there, and this is like around the it's a weird anniversary to have, but my ex-wife and I were going to have a baby, and we ended up having a miscarriage, and the baby's date of birth was coming up, that he was supposed to get born. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, put one, I put the other, I was like, holy shit. And I had like that fucking epiphany. I jumped up, I wrote it down. I was like, I don't like the way this is spelled. So I started like playing with the spelling. I was like, that's fucking it. Because my baby was going to be named Draven. So it's kind of, the name kind of honors him, and it honors my father-in-law. So like that's got put together, and it's been that ever since. And then the Irish Nightmare thing just kind of came with road trips. Like, started talking with an Irish accent, and then, started doing promos like that. And then, someone called me, their worst nightmare in a promo. I was like, Irish fucking gold. And that's kind of how the evolution, it just happened organically.
Yeah.
And then by that time, it was already established. And then I met you, and then I met Rip, and then we did this, and then that, and then it's been a hell of a trip.
It's been a hell of a run.
And that's kind of how character building really is. It can really come really organically. Like, you can have this idea in your head of what you want, but it could be the exact opposite of what you turn out being.
Right.
Like, I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd ever want to be booed. I never imagined in my wildest dreams I want to be hated. And now I love it.
Love it.
Love it, because it's so
Love
much
it.
easier to work as a heel than a baby face.
Yeah, man.
So what about you? With your character building, how did that really build up? Because I know you had like some previous career paths that you wanted to try, and like that's kind of how the name came up.
Yeah, I was a heavy metal guitarist at the time, and I went by Dark Cordz because it's chords and music and that kind of shit. And
I thought he was going to say the thing. Okay.
what?
I thought you were going to say the thing.
What then?
Why are you called Dark Chords?
Why?
Because you'll play those dark chords all over your heartstrings.
Oh, yeah, and that was the thing. I was about to get into my original catchphrases. So my first catchphrase ever was "No one's safe." That's why I have that shirt with the
Yeah.
"No one's safe."
You're getting the Streamlove merch.
Of course, my voice was different. Like, purposely, my voice was different, and
Right.
and I'd say it a certain way, and that's when I kind of figure out, because obviously we cut promos at school, and that's when I kind of figured out that is my thing. Cutting the promos was my thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. That was what I was the best promo at school, without question. I'd one take them just like we do now. No scripts, no writing.
And that's
just
the
off
best, most
top.
organic way to fucking do it.
And the "No one's safe" at the end was just felt like chef's kiss.
Right.
And then I went to cut a in-ring promo, which is completely different.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole lot different.
An in-ring promo is so much different than a pre-recorded promo.
Which is where I fucking thrive. Like,
Yeah.
you thrive more in the one take backstage stuff, and
Right.
I'm good at it as well. But I'm good at feeding off of you.
Yeah.
But when I'm like out there in front of a fucking crowd, like, you got to be Johnny on the spot. You got to like just
Yeah.
keep it going.
And that was the first time I'd used "I'm going to play dark chords on your heartstrings" in the in-ring promo.
Mm-hmm.
But no, for the longest time, "No one's safe" was like the big one for me.
It still is.
Yeah, we don't really have like a catchphrase too much other than "pay the toll."
That's all we needed for the
Yeah.
last 3 years.
Yep. But
Like,
still, my favorite moment in my career is that show in Palatka where we had so much heat, and it was just the greatest. Because we've gotten heat like that since,
yeah,
but that was the first time I'd ever had that kind of reaction, and I was like, that.
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to feel right there. Dude's trying to come across the barricades at us. Like, it was just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was a heel from school. Like, I've never been a baby face in training and nothing. I've never been a baby face. I always wanted that horrible heat. And it's just great.
Yeah, yeah. God, I miss that shit. But going back to the LCCW thing, and I'll call it out. I don't give a fuck. You know, that was the first show that another booker got put on the books, and instead of only trying to get his boys over, he was trying to get the entire show over,
Yeah.
and it showed because that show previous, and they took like a 3 month break between one show to that show. We went from 8 people to damn near over 100 people staying consistently.
Yep.
That should have showed you right then and there. It was the people holding the book and doing the promoting.
Yep.
Now, started flopping again because the promoter trying to be like, oh, that was all my idea. I want to do this, and this. Okay, well, if the promoter wants to do that, why the fuck do you have a booker?
Right.
And then, 6 months later, it shut down. But that was one of the few shows I was like quite fucking proud of being a part of. Like me, you, Rip, we had Wolfie at the time, and I swear to God, if they knew what cars we were driving, we were gonna have our tires slashed.
Yeah.
Like it was rabid. It was 70s. It was good shit.
Good shit.
So we only got a few more minutes on this, so let's kind of rapid fire this one. We've gone through training. We've gone through early bookings. We've gone through, intermediate bookings into advanced stuff and what you should look out for. But everybody always wants to be the mark on this shit. So let's go ahead and get the marky shit out. The music. How did you come up with your first track before your custom? I'm sure you had some well-known track that you wanted to use.
Oh yeah, it was mine. Like when I was in
like I'm talking like back in like fucking high school, and you heard like fucking Metallica on fucking radio or some shit. Like, well, what was that first fucking track that you wanted to use if you didn't use it? Because I know what my first fucking track is, and I'm fucking embarrassed to say it's not what I fucking envisioned it was going to be.
I don't really know.
Like you didn't like just like hear it in your head and like just like close your eyes and see yourself walking out to like fucking Iron Man or fucking Enter Sandman or some shit.
Not really.
Man,
how about you?
I'm so sorry. For me, my first one was One Step Closer with Linkin Park.
Okay.
Like when I first heard that riff, like I immediately thought entrance music.
Okay.
Like so every time it came on, I just like see myself walking down Monday Night Raw or some shit like that. And then as I got a little older, and Juggalo Whoop Whoop, I started listening to ICP. Like Chicken Hunt was the same thing because they had like the same like short intro into the music, and I had the instrumental track at the time, so I didn't have to worry about no cussing. So like, and I also had an Xbox with WWE Raw 2, and like you can put custom music for the first time ever in 2003.
Right.
So that was my shit on there. I was like, fuck, this is amazing. So I became kind of a fucking dork about that, and I always wanted to come out to One Step Closer, and I tried for the longest time to get it to fucking work, and nobody ever wanted to use it because it was so generic sounding. So what ended up happening is my first actual show away from training, it was me and Alex Matthews versus Gabriel Xavier and Alejandro Bravo. Those 3 guys I will forever be indebted to because they taught me so much in one fucking road trip. that it's priceless knowledge, right? And still green as fuck. Only had like 2 trainings. I was supposed to go work security. Ended up working the tag team match with him, and we forgot our music. And by we, I mean he forgot his music. And this is like my first match ever outside of doing anything from the school. These motherfuckers made us come out a fucking dancing queen. And I've told you this story. And I've showed you the picture, like the young green as fuck me with the black pants with the green. Yeah. So for like 6 months after that, he started bringing his own music. And I was always supposed to work security, but I always ended up putting in fucking squash matches. So what the fuck did we use last time? We used fucking Dancing Queen. So for 6 fucking months at this fucking promotion only, I came out looking like a badass fucking bouncer or some shit to fucking Dancing Queen. And like almost like Swerve, just no sell the whole fucking thing.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So what it ended up eventually landing on is at training I used Hero by Skillet. And that's what kind of what went. But once I left that and then DCCW started up, I wanted something a little more like I love Skillet, don't get me wrong. Top 5 bands of all time, but my number 1 is Linkin Park, number 2 is Metallica. Still didn't want to use Linkin Park, so I was like, let me find a Metallica song. So I landed on The Memory Remains because it kind of felt. Remember Taker's entrance music from 2003, right before he did the Buried Alive thing, the You're Gonna Pay theme?
Mm-hmm.
It had the same tempo and the same feel to it, so like I landed on The Memory Remains, and I did that for the longest time, and it worked all the way up until I did the repackage for Draven Grimes.
Okay.
Which I found the Birthday Massacre and did that, and then we found the TFK music with Within Temptation, and then obviously, as we progressed, we got custom tracks for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
my favorite entrance music we've ever had is that Within Temptation.
It is, but it's one of those things of if we go to a promotion and they put it on TV,
Yep.
they want something either generic, instrumental, or something like that. It's like, well, why not just fucking make some custom tracks?
Yeah.
Now, say what you will, I think we put out some fucking bangers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, if it ever comes to that, I got Raising Hell, I got Nightmare King, I got the Irish Nightmare, you got Hell King, you got Dark Cordz something, and then you got your own custom track that you had when we first met, like the first HSP theme. Also the HSP theme. We bust out a lot of things. Thanks, Fetal Pig, by the way.
Fetal Pig. Check him out on tour this summer.
But yeah, to me, music should be like the last thing you ever fucking worry about. Looking back now, like don't worry about what your fucking finisher is going to be. Don't worry about what your fucking music's going to be. Go out there, learn. Because music is going to come and go. It's not going to really matter. A lot of times, a lot of trainers will put something on and they want you to react to it accordingly.
Yeah.
They want to see what you can do, Johnny, on the spot. As far as your finish, I think Also said it best at one of his seminars I attended. Your finish is only a finish when you've established it 100 times over.
Yeah.
I mean, he'd be the first to tell you his finish is not that snowplow, that Northern Lights driver. It's him taking a mannequin head and bashing somebody over the head with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's his finish. And that's something I've always kind of carried with me. So whenever I do use Brother Wyndham or I do use the Draven effect, it is the finish. There's no false finish. There's nothing like that.
Yep. No false finish on finishers.
But as far as to kind of sum it up for today, find a reputable school.
Yep.
Do your research. There are plenty in the state of Florida. There's plenty in Georgia. You just got to do the research. You got to be willing to put the miles in. You got to be willing to pay the dues. You got to be willing to take the time out of your life to learn this stuff, because they say it's a 12-week course, but you don't stop learning. I mean, 15 years at this point, I'm still learning. Once you're fully trained, please invest in yourself. Invest in professional looking gear. And I know it's easier said than done because that shit's, it's a pretty little penny. It's nowhere near as bad as it used to be. But I mean, I spent $200 on Custom tights, I've spent $300 on a custom bodysuit. Custom trunks are like $150. Like, I get it's expensive and you're not always going to do that. So, like, high spots and stuff like that, get the generic stuff, understandable. But once you've established yourself, once you've established a gimmick, a personality, a character, whatever, invest in yourself because it's going to be the best investment because that's what a lot of bookers and promoters look at.
Yeah.
If you look like every other generic wrestler, what's going to set you apart? If it's not your attitude, it's going to be your look.
Mhm.
Once you got that, once you've established that, establish who your character is.
Yep.
Whether you're babyface or heel, and work every show, no matter how many times you work the same promotion, work every show like it's your first one, like you're introducing yourself for the first time every time. Because there's going to be people that's maybe been there 4 or 5 times, but there's going to be people that's never been there before, doesn't know who the fuck you are, and you need to tell them. You need to talk to them about who you are and what you're about. And once you got all that settled in, and once you're comfortable with all that, then start looking for outside promotions. Start sending tapes. Please record your stuff.
Yes.
Study your own stuff. Find out where you're flawed.
Even if the promotion isn't recording it.
Yeah,
record
always.
it for yourself.
Always. Because the best stuff you can study is the stuff that you've done to see where you fucked up and where you can improve on.
Yep.
I know a lot of people are like, oh, they study the tapes. Like, yeah, we do study the tapes of other people, but how many times you've caught me over here like watching myself?
Oh, constantly.
Yeah, and I am my worst critic. I could have a perfect 10 match. Thump has told me I've had the perfect match, and I'm like, like here, and here, I didn't like what happened here.
Yeah.
But that's because I have that mentality. Never be afraid to ask questions. Never be afraid to go to a veteran and ask what you thought of it.
Yep.
If they're watching it and they actually care about this business, they will sit you down and they will tell you what you did wrong. Do not take that the wrong way. They're telling you what you did wrong so you can go back and improve on it.
Right.
And please stay humble. I've seen a lot of guys that's been doing this for 2 or 3 years and think they're fucking 10 foot tall, bulletproof, and their shit don't fucking stink. You want to know where the fuck they get? No fucking where.
Yep.
There's a couple of exceptions where they've politicked their way into positions, which, you know, that's neither here nor there. Politics is a whole nother situation for a whole nother fucking time. But stay humble. Stay conditioned. And never be afraid to reach out. That's one thing I've learned, especially in the past couple of years, because we've seen a lot of these newer promotions pop up. And, you know, we sit there like, oh, well, there's that. Well, fuck it. I'm going to send them a fucking highlight video.
Yeah.
What's the worst they can say? We don't need you at this time?
Mm-hmm.
The worst you can get told is no.
Yeah.
I've been told no many fucking times in my life. It don't bother me.
Yep.
But you're never going to know unless you fucking actually step out there and bet on yourself.
100%.
But please, we didn't do this episode to kind of be all big and Brody and show our knowledge and stuff. We did this because we've seen a lot of people be told the wrong thing, be led the wrong way, and it bites them in the ass. And then when we see it and we ask them what the fuck happened, and they tell us this shit, it honestly pisses us off.
Yep.
So please, if nothing else, stay humble. Never be afraid to be the dumbest person in the room. Ask questions. Find a reputable school. Please just don't go to somebody's back fucking yard because they once worked a fucking dark match in WWF in 1989. Please.
Please.
Go somewhere that's actually going to train you, that's going to take your money. And it's not going to be cheap, but they will take your money and they will invest in you as long as you invest in yourself. And I think that's all I can really say about this one.
That's pretty much it. Maybe we'll do a part 2 one day where we talk about the road and the injuries and stuff like that, but we'll deal with that at another day.
Yeah.
Take us out with some pleasantries, sir.
Pleasantries, my guy. Please tune in to WIW this Tuesday night with your boys Dark Cordz, Draven Grimes, and I'm going to say it, Edgar from the I Suck fucking Logan Paul shaft. Because that's all we're going to fucking hear for a fucking hour from this motherfucker.
You're like, bro,
God fucking help us.
bro, he pinned Jelly Roll. Let's not get overexcited.
Oh,
about
buddy,
this shit.
he's going to fucking just the whole hour. Like, the only thing that's going to be worse if AJ fucking loses. Newsflash, we're recording this after the Saturday night show, going into the Sunday night show. But if fucking AJ loses the fucking match to Dom, like, that's going to be the entire show, and I'm bold. I'm gone. I'm going to the Whataburger. I'm getting a fucking milkshake, and I'm sitting the fuck down and chilling out.
I'm just gonna mute his shit.
And that's
Me
fine.
and you can sit here and talk, and he'll be talking.
Well, you better do it before I walk out that door to hit the Whataburger. Otherwise, you're going to have fucking Elwood over here going, "Dirt," the whole fucking time. Dirt. See?
Jesus Christ.
Smell like fucking Bengay and bad dreams.
Jesus Christ.
So anyway, Tuesday night, 8 Eastern, 7 Central, Johnny fucking Hughes and Billy motherfucking Sharp. Since you got fucking time schedules all fixed up. Don't forget, this Thursday night is...
Fantasy Wars.
What if CM Punk didn't walk out in 2015? It's going to be more of a conversational piece. I'll do a little bit of booking here and there, but I wanted this to be more of a conversational piece, and we're going to talk about the entirety of 2015 going into 2016.
All right.
Going to be good. I'm going to fucking cook.
I know you will.
God, if I didn't cook on the Shield thing, I'm definitely going to cook on the CM Punk thing.
Mm.
And of course, every Sunday, 12 noon Eastern, 11 Central, Johnny fucking Hughes is the original Heel Shit podcast with your boys Dark Cordz and Draven Grimes, where we go over a plethora of subjects. Not gonna lie, this was one of those more deep cuts, and I like these, and we need to do another one of these soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed it.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, do not forget our new podcast, The Booker's Table, which is out on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. Booker's Table. Dark, please fill them in on what we do on The Booker's Table.
Essentially what we do is we take the weekly TV shows. Right now we're doing Raw and AEW Dynamite, and we break it down segment by segment. What we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's been a lot of ugly recently.
Yeah.
So go check those shows out. Just on wherever you get your podcast from, just Google Booker's Table, and you'll find it.
Yes, sir. Make sure you leave a star rating and a comment. It helps out dearly on all that shit, basically. I just went fucking stupid. And last but not, I forgot. Please follow us on all the social medias at Heel Shit Podcast. I'm not going through all the social medias. You know what they are at this time. This is 2025. You probably even remember the ones from fucking 2005 at this point. Fuck. And last but not least, get that button ready. Do not forget the merch.
The merch.
Fucking gorgeous.
Amazing.
As always, you can get the Heel Shit Podcast merchandise. You can get Forbidden Kingdom merchandise, which is our wrestling faction. You can get Dark Cordz merchandise, Draven Grimes merchandise, Rip Ruiz merchandise, which is our third member. And I promise you, the Speed King shit's coming. I promise you it is. Just had some personal shit going on that I just had to take time away from it, but it's coming. As well as my personal favorite, the Fuck Logan Paul shirt. And the
Indeed.
censored and the uncensored one.
Love it.
I'm a little upset I didn't see a lot of Fuck Logan Paul shirts at the fucking show last night. A
Little bit.
little upset, but it's okay. I understand.
Yep.
And of course, the last thing is the YouTube premiums. One more time, $1.99 gets you basically everything from the emojis to the videos to your at-cost merch. You got the $4.99 tier with the monthly Zoom call, which will be the last weekend of August. It's going to be fucking fantastic. The last two have been fucking phenomenal. Still trying to get over the Diddy stuff from July. I'm not going to lie. It's kind of fucking weird, but it's okay. And with all of that, my guy, I think we can go home.
I think we can. So, for Draven Grimes, I'm Dark Cordz. This has been Heel Shit. Why do we call it that? Bad guys do heel shit. Peace. My button's frozen. All right. Well, peace out.
Later, bitches.
I fucking My buttons got frozen over here.
Not good. I love when you unplug it.
Oh,
That was a damn good show. Good.